paid by us. We had to pay for everything.
Sva ova medicinska misionarska putovanja su bila plaćena od strane nas.
So I will say mission trips sometimes are not cheap.
Zato bih rekao da misionska putovanja nekada nisu jeftina.
Because you have to pay for your trip, you have to pay for food.
Jer morate da platite za put, za hranu.
We paid for all the medicines.
Za sve medicinske, za sve lekove.
And a lot of the medicines we bought over there because it was cheaper than buying in the States.
I mnoge lekove smo kupili tamo jer je bilo jeftinije nego ovdje.
So as you saw from the last picture, we can move on to the first slide. A lot of the times we worked out into the jungle, we'd find some area that we could see patients.
Mnogo puta kada smo radili u džungli, našli bismo neki deo gde bismo mogli da obavljamo preglede.
But in the cities, you can see this is the biggest Adventist hospital in Lima.
Ali u gradu ovo je najveća adventistička bolnica u Limi.
And they call it Klinika Good Hope.
I oni ga zovu Klinika Dobre nade.
And you can see it's very fancy, it has a view of the ocean.
Kao što možete vidite, jako je lepo i moderno i ima pogled na okean.
And so you can get pretty much any medical care there.
I tu možete dobiti svaku vrstu medicinske pomoći.
The problem is when you're in the villages, it's too expensive to travel and too expensive to pay for your treatment.
Problem je ako živite u selu da je preskupo da se putuje do tog mesta da možete da dobijete medicinsku pomoć.
Now, in one of the hospitals closer to the jungle area, it's in a city called Iquitos.
U jednoj bolnici koja je bliže delu gde je džungla, u gradu Iquitos.
Also an Adventist hospital.
Gde se takođe nalazi adventistička bolnica.
We got a chance to work there for 2-3 weeks.
Imali smo šansu da tu radimo 2-3 sedmice.
And so we performed various surgeries for skin.
Tako da smo tu obavili razne vrste operacija na koži.
And also we assisted other surgeons for like delivering babies and bone surgeries.
I takođe smo pomagali drugim hirurzima koji su vršili operacije na kostima, porađali bebe i sl.
And a lot of their facilities there are pretty modern too.
I dosta od tih bolnica gde smo bili su prilično moderne.
So we removed certain things like cyst and skin cancers off of people's faces.
Takođe smo otklanjali ciste i rak kože sa lica ljudi.
This was one of the ladies that had a slow growing cancer on her lip.
Ovo je jedna od osoba koja je imala rak koji je polako se razvijao na njenoj usni.
So this one, the deeper I gone, the more I saw that it was underneath the skin, so I had to go even more deeper.
Što sam dublje išao, vidio sam da još dublje ispod kože je rak prisutan, pa sam morao dalje da nastavim.
But this is right after surgery, but after 2 weeks she looked very good.
Ovo je odmah posle operacije, ali posle 2 sedmice ona je izgledala prilično dobro.
So some were bigger surgeries and some were a little bit smaller.
Neke su bile veće operacije, neke manje.
But it was nice to be able to offer those services for free for the patients.
Ali bilo je lepo ponuditi ovakvu vrstu pomoći našim pacijentima.
This was a young boy that had an infectious cyst or an abscess growing on his forehead.
Ovo je jedan mladić koji je imao inficiranu cistu koja je rasla na njegovom čelu.
And it was just getting bigger and bigger.
I sve se više uvećavalo.
And so the patient or the boy was in a lot of pain.
I ovaj dečak je imao je jako velike bolove.
So we were able to cut into it and drain all that pus out.
I bili smo u mogućnosti da to zasečemo i da iscedimo sav gnoj koji je bio unutra.
This is a little girl that actually had chicken pox.
Ovo je mala devojčica koja je imala neku vrstu od boginja, ovčije boginje. Thank you.
Go ahead, next slide. And as you know, chickenpox can be very painful.
I kao što znate, ovčije boginje mogu biti vrlo bolne.
We don't see it that much here anymore because most people get vaccinated.
Ovde to više ne vidimo preterano zato što su ljudi uglavnom vakcinisani.
This was a little cyst on the finger.
Ovo je bila mala cista na prstu.
But it was causing a lot of pain.
Ali je proizvodila veliki bol.
So we drew a sad face because it caused a lot of pain on her.
I zato smo nacrtali ovu tužnu grimasu zato što je izazivalo veliku bol.
But little surgeries we were able to accomplish in the villages, but the big ones we had to
Malo
do it.
operacije smo mogli da uradimo u selu, ali za veće poduhvate morali smo da idemo u grad.
As we mentioned before, most of the cases that we saw were probably children.
A kao što sam već spomenuo, najviše slučajeva koje smo videli su bili deca.
Mainly because they don't have the nutrition there, so they're very small.
Većinom zbog toga što nisu imali dobru ishranu.
And so they would also get sick easily.
I tako da bi vrlo lako se razboljevali.
A lot of the patients there don't see a doctor.
A većina pacijenata, mnogo pacijenata ne ide kod doktora uopšte.
Mainly because they can't afford it.
Zato što nemaju novca da to
And
plate.
so either they recover or they pass away.
Tako da se ili oporave ili jednostavno umru.
Again, this was another picture of the chicken pox. It can eat away at the skin.
Ovo je još jedna slika ovčjih boginja koje mogu jednostavno da izjedu kožu.
There was also a lot of scabies. Scabies is a mite that crawls inside your skin and causes you to itch.
Ima i dosta prisutnih bubica koje se uvuku ispod kože.
And you can see that it can cause very big open wounds.
I može da dovede do ovih otvorenih rana.
And mainly because of a lot of scratching that's done.
I uglavnom zbog tog grebanja koje on radi ispod kože.
And so typically here we can give a cream and be done with it. It would cure.
Ovde normalno možemo prepisati kremu i to će proći.
But over there it's hard and very expensive to get that cream.
A tamo je to vrlo skupo nabaviti.
So you have to learn to improvise.
Zato morate da naučite da improvizujete.
So we were able to get like powder of sulfur powder.
Tako da smo bili u mogućnosti da dobijemo sumporni puder.
We would mix it with oil or butter and put it all over their skin.
I mi bismo to pomešali sa uljem i puterom i namazali po koži.
This young lady is 13 years old.
Ova mlada dama je 13 godina
And she was born with this malformation on her face.
I ona je bila rođena sa ovom deformacijom na licu.
And she came actually because she said that she didn't feel she was pretty and she was hoping that we could do something.
I ona je došla rekavši nam da je mislila da ona nije lepa i pitala da li možemo da joj pomognemo.
Now, something she was born with, it really wasn't causing her too many problems, physical problems.
To je nešto sa čime ona bila rođena i nije joj izazivalo velike fizičke probleme.
Now, here in the States, we'd be able to order a CT scan or some form of like MRI or something to see exactly what it is.
A ovde u Americi mi bismo mogli da obavimo CAT scan ili magnetnu rezonancu da vidimo šta je u pitanju.
But unfortunately there, especially in the villages, we had none of those capabilities.
Ali nažalost tamo u selima nismo imali takvu mogućnost.
So there were some cases that we just couldn't really do much.
Tako da je bilo slučajeva kojima nismo mogli da pomognemo.
But if nothing else, we could always pray with the family, with the patient.
Ali ako ništa, uvek smo mogli da se molimo sa porodicom i sa pacijentom.
Encourage them as well.
I da ih ohrabrimo.
This patient was bit by a snake.
Ovaj pacijent je bio ujeden od zmije.
He was fishing.
On je pecao.
And when he lifted up his net,
I kada je podigao svoju mrežu,
the snake jumped up and bit him in the stomach.
Zmija je poskočila i ujela ga za stomak.
And he had come to shore around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
On je došao do obale oko 3 popodne.
And immediately when he got out of the boat, he fell on the ground.
I čim je izašao iz čamca, pao je na zemlju.
And he stayed there until about 11 o'clock at night.
I ostao je tu do negde 11 uveče.
Some kids were walking by and saw the man on the floor.
Neka deca su prolazila pored i videli čoveka na podu.
And they brought him over to the clinic.
I doneli su ga do klinike.
He was in a lot of pain.
On je bio u jako puno boli.
He was hallucinating.
Halucinirao je.
And we didn't have anti-venom, but by that time it was probably too late anyways.
Mi nismo imali protiv otrova, ali tad je već bilo kasno svejedno.
But we gave a lot of fluid, we gave some medicine, and we prayed a lot, and after about 2 days he recovered.
Ali smo se molili za njega, dali smo mu dosta vode i posle 2 dana je sve prošlo.
This man was chopping something in his garden, and he went a little bit too aggressive.
Ovaj čovek je sekao nešto u svojoj bašti i bio je malo previše agresivan.
He didn't see us right away, but it got very infected, so the only thing left was to amputate that area.
Ja, on nije došao odmah do nas, tako da se prst inficirao, jedino što smo mogli da uradimo je da ga amputiramo.
Now, I told you my cousin Brandon had come along, and he's in nursing.
Rekao sam je da je moj rođak došao sa mnom i on je in nursing, medicinska sestra ili brat.
But unfortunately, he got very, very ill.
Ali, nažalost, on se jako razbolao.
And it was during the night when he was sleeping, he was in a lot of pain and he couldn't sleep much.
I u toku noći on je imao jake bolovi, nije mogao da spava.
And in the morning he had a fever of about 106.
I ujutru je imao temperaturu preko 40, 41.
And then he doesn't remember a lot that happened, and he was hallucinating a little bit.
I on se ne seća puno šta se dešavalo kod njega jer je halucinirao.
We gave him fluids and we gave him some antibiotics.
Dali su mu dosta vode i neke antibiotike.
Because we didn't have labs, because we don't have electricity to see exactly what's going on.
Jer nismo imali laboratoriju, budući da nismo imali ni struju, da bismo mogli da vidimo šta se dešavalo.
So we were thinking malaria, maybe dengue fever.
Mislili smo da je malarija ili neka vrsta groznice.
And so at that point he was unable to urinate anymore. They had to put a Foley catheter.
I u to vreme više nije mogao ni da mokri, morali su kateter da mu stave.
And then he started throwing up and having loose stools.
I onda je počeo da povraća i da ima dijareju.
And at that point we had called that medical transport, the plane, to bring him over to that jungle hospital in Iquitos. I
u tom trenutku smo zvali ovaj avion, medicinski avion, da dođe da ga preveze u bolnicu u mesto Iquitos.
When we got him to the hospital, he was a little bit anemic, his blood counts had dropped.
Kada smo ga doveli u bolnicu, on je bio malo anemičan zato što je broj krvnih zrnaca opao.
And a few other labs were a little bit abnormal.
I još neki od rezultata su bili malo abnormalni.
And so I know, like, especially through Facebook, I saw a lot of people praying for him.
I vidio sam na Facebooku da su se mnogi ljudi molili za njega.
And I will say prayer, even though sometimes we may not realize it, has a powerful impact.
I želim da naglasim da, iako nekad to ne prepoznamo, molitva ima jako veliki uticaj.
Because during the whole 6 months I was away, I didn't get sick.
Jer u toku svih 6 meseci koji smo bili tamo, ja se nisam razbolao.
And with the amount of mosquito bites and everything, the likelihood, if I was gambling, I would have won something, right?
Poredeći to sa količinom ujeda komaraca koje sam iskusio, to je kao da sam se kockao pa dobio nešto.
But with him, it took him about a week that he was in the hospital, and then he fully recovered.
Njemu je uzelo 7 dana i on se potpuno oporavio u bolnici.
So we thank God that he was healthy again, that he could continue with us.
I mi se zahvaljujemo Bogu za to.
A lot of the infections that we saw were on the skin.
Dosta infekcija koje smo videli su bile na koži.
Now over there in Peru, they have a lot of dogs just roaming around.
U Peru oni imaju puno pasa koji slobodno šetaju.
Because they're not allowed to kill the dogs.
Zato što im nije dozvoljeno da ubijaju pse.
And so these dogs, they mate with each other and more dogs are produced.
I ovi psi se uparuju i razmnožavaju.
The kids play with the dogs, but all the dogs have infections on their coats.
I deca se igraju sa ovim malim psima, međutim ti psi svi imaju određenu vrstu infekcije.
So you can see around his armpit is an area of redness and it's kind of scaly and dry.
Ispod pazuha možete videti ovaj deo koji je crven i koji se tako ljušti i suvje.
And that's a type of fungus.
I to je vrsta gljivičnog oboljenja.
Sometimes it spreads throughout the whole body, and then on top of that you can get bacteria that gets involved.
A nekada se proširi po celom telu i može izazvati dalje bakterijsku infekciju.
This was a gentleman that had very bad veins on his legs.
Ovo je čovek koji ima jako loše vene na svojim nogama.
And when they're very bad, they can cause ulcers, and they're very hard to heal.
I kada su jako loši mogu da izazovu čireve koje je teško izlečiti.
So therapies that we have here, we can easily do. Unfortunately, over there, it's very limited.
Terapije koje su ovde dostupne i koje lako možemo ponuditi ljudima, tamo su limitirane.
This was a little girl that we saw in an orphanage there.
Ovo je mala devojčica koju smo videli u sirotištu, hvala.
She got shot twice by her father.
Ona je bila shot, you said, upucana 2 puta od strane njenog oca.
One bullet ended up around the stomach area, the other one ended up in the spine.
Jedan metak se zaustavi u predelu stomaka, drugi u predelu u kičmi.
And they were able to remove the stomach one, they were not able to remove the one in the spine.
Oni su bili u mogućnosti da izvade metak iz stomaka, ali ne one koji se zaglavi u kičmi.
When we saw her, she was starting to have fevers, she was starting to have very bad headaches.
Kada smo je mi videli, ona je već imala groznicu, temperaturu, jake glavobolje.
So very likelihood of meningitis.
I verovatno meningitis koji se razvio.
So for her, we were able to transfer her to a hospital to get treatment.
I nju smo uspeli da odvedemo u bolnicu da dobije pomoć tamo.
You see some things that you normally don't see that often, but this is a goiter, it's a problem with the thyroid.
Vidite neke stvari koje ovde ne vidite tako često i ovo je problem sa tiroidnom žlezdom koji stvara ovo izrasleno.
An interesting thing, he didn't come actually for that, he come for something else, but every time he talked we saw his shirt move up and down and we were wondering what was going on.
Interesantno je da je on došao radi nečega drugog, ali dok je govorio mi smo videli kako se njegova majica pomera i...
Again, different types of infections, this one in the ear.
Ovo je jedna druga vrsta infekcije uha.
These are jungle wasps.
Ovo su ose iz džungle.
I want to see if the video will play. Try to look at the bottom of his abdomen area to see if you can see the stinger.
Ja, probat ćemo da pustimo jedan video da vidimo da li možete da vidite.
It might not play, but they... Well, that's okay if it doesn't. Well, anyways, we were walking in around the jungle area just on a Sabbath afternoon. We decided to take a walk.
Ja, šetali smo u predelu džungle jedne subote.
And then when we came to this very abandoned little hut.
I kada smo došli do ovog jedne napuštene kolibe.
And so we decided to just see what was inside, if anything.
Hteli smo da vidimo šta ima tu unutra, ako je bilo šta i bilo.
And when we came inside, these wasps just attacked us.
I kada smo ušli unutra, ove ose su nas napale.
And at least I got stung 4 times.
Ja sam najmanje 4 puta bio uboden.
We can go back to the pictures if we can't do the video. But they were painful. It was like somebody stabbing you with a knife.
Ali to je bilo jako bolno, kao da te neko nožem ubara.
So that was my arm, and that was like within seconds of getting stung. You can see how it swells.
Ovo je moja ruka posle par sekundi, pošto sam bio uboren.
But thank God I wasn't allergic, so it was fine.
Ali hvala Bogu nisam alergičan na to.
Again, you get infections and skin infections anywhere. You get it around the scalp area.
Infekcije na koži, u različitim delovima na glavi.
Again, here we could give pills for it, but the unfortunate thing, sometimes we're not able to acquire the pills necessary over there.
Ovde možemo prepisati pilule, međutim, nekada nismo u mogućnosti da to uradimo tamo.
So we have to do other treatments to see if we can get it.
Tako da moramo da probamo neki drugi tretman.
This was in a larger village that we went to. They had one of the bigger clinics.
Ovo je u većem selu gde smo bili, gde su imali veću kliniku.
And 2 of my friends who are physical therapists came to offer their assistance.
I dvoje mojih prijatelja koji su bili fizikalni terapeuti su pomagali.
The people there carry a lot on their shoulders, or on their heads and on their backs.
Ljudi koji nose veliki teret na svojim ramenima ili glavi.
Because a lot of people will transfer stuff from the boat to the land and back and forth.
Ljudi bi prebacivali stvari sa njihovog čamca na obalu i nazad.
So something that we would say, 50 pounds is heavy to carry, they would literally have about 300 to 400 pounds on their back that they're carrying.
Nama je teško da nosimo 25-30 kila, oni bi imali oko 200 kila na leđima.
So after a while, their back and their shoulders, everything starts to hurt.
I posle određenog vremena njihova leđa i ramena počinju da bole.
So even simple things like exercises, stretching exercises, massage, and all these things helped.
Čak i jednostavne stvari kao što su jednostavne vežbe, masaža pomogle su.
A lot of the complaints were, for example, headaches.
Mnogi su se žalili na glavobolje,
especially because they're out in the sun all day either working in the farm or carrying things.
posebno zato što su provodili po ceo dan na farmi, na polju, radeći ili noseći stvari.
And they wouldn't drink enough, and then they would get dizzy after being out in the sun all day.
I nisu dovoljno pili vode, tako da bi im se zavrtilo u glavi, pošto bi bili toliko dugo na suncu.
And headaches and eye problems and so on.
Tako da su imali glavobolje, problem sa vidom i slično.
So simple things that you can educate them, like drinking enough water, purifying your water, so on, really helps too.
Tako da jednostavne stvari koje možete naučiti, da piju dosta vode, da pročišćavaju vodu, mogu da im pomognu puno.
This was my friend that had come from Toronto.
Ovo je moj prijatelj koji je došao iz Toronta.
She was there for 2 hours walking in the city when you can see how much of a sunburn she got.
Ona je bila tu samo 2 sata, pošto je 2 sata šetala po gradu, vidite koliko je izgorala koža.
The northern part of Peru is located really close to the equator.
Severni deo Perua je lociran jako blizu ekvatoru.
You can also see these are mosquito bites.
Ovo što vidite su ujedi komarca.
And we counted 400
I mi smo
mosquito
izračunali
bites
400 ujeda komarca
on both her legs.
na njene obe noge.
So if you don't like mosquito bites here, trust me, you would not like them there.
Tako ako ih ne volite ovde, znajte tamo ih definitivno ne biste.
This was a young boy that we had, that we were called to come see, actually that was already inside a hospital.
Ovo je mladi dečak koga su nas pozvali da vidimo, koji je već bio u bolnici.
And her mother had heard that the Adventists were in town.
Njegova majka je čula da su adventisti u gradu.
And she's like, oh, get the Adventists, they'll fix it.
So ona je rekla, dovedite adventiste, oni će to da reše.
And the hospital actually didn't know what to do anymore, because every antibiotic that they would try, the patient would break out in a rash.
I bolnica više nije znala šta da radi, jer koji god antibiotik da bi mu dali, on bi se sav osuo od alergije.
So we worked together with them, and then we actually started on therapy.
I počeli smo da sarađujemo sa njima i započeli smo terapiju.
And you can see when it started how much of a wound and how much redness around his whole leg. He's only 7 years old.
I možete da vidite na početku kako je noga bila inficirana.
And once we started on treatment, we were able to get him better in a little over a week.
I kada smo započeli naš tretman, za manje od 7 dana smo mu pomogli da se mnogo bolje osjeća.
We had to do a little bit of surgery just to cut out the black stuff that was still left over.
Morali smo da izvršimo malu operaciju, da izvadimo taj crni deo koji je preostao.
But afterwards he came right before we were leaving, and he gave us a little gift, a little teddy bear and a little note saying, I'm so happy and thankful that you guys had come.
Ali kasnije, pre nego što smo mi otišli, on je došao i dao nam je malog medu i sa malom zahvalnicom.
Yeah, things that kind of break your heart, but it's good. This was actually our translator. So the first about 3.5 months we had a translator that would go with us.
Ovo je naš prevodioc. Prvih 3,5 meseca smo imali prevodioc.
Then he got tuberculosis.
A onda on dobio tuberkulozu.
And then we were left on our own.
A onda smo ostali sami.
Our Spanish had to improve greatly in a
Tako
short
je
period
naš
of time.
španski morao da napreduje vrlo brzo.
This was an infection around the wrist that he had left alone for weeks.
Ovo je infekcija oko članka koju je on ostavio da se razvija sedmicama.
We would obviously get an x-ray to see if it had gone down to the bone, but the best we could do was clean it, give him some antibiotics, and tell him how to take care of it.
Nismo mogli da uzmemo x-ray da vidimo da li je otišlo do kosti, ali najviše što smo mogli da mu damo antibiotike i da malo tretiramo.
This was a case that we had that took about 6 hours.
Ovo je slučaj koji je uzeo 6 sati.
The patient had come in saying that he was unable to use the restroom. He was unable to urinate.
Pacijent je došao i rekao da nije u mogućnosti bio da ide u WC.
And he hadn't gone for more than about 20 hours.
I on je mokrio oko 20 sati.
And he said that he thinks that he has a stone.
I on je rekao da misli da ima kamen.
And when we looked, there was really a stone there.
I kada smo mi pogledali, našli smo kamen.
And this was the size of the stone. That's about the size of our nickel.
I ovo je veličina kamena, a novčić koji vidite je veličina 5 centi.
We didn't have the appropriate tools, so we used what we could.
Nismo imali odgovarajuće instrumente, pa smo koristili šta smo imali.
But we got it out.
Ali smo uspeli da izvadimo.
And then he went to use the restroom.
Tako da je otišao u WC.
And when he came back for the restroom, he said, there's another one stuck again.
I kada se vratio iz WC, rekao je, još jedan kamen se tu
And
nalazi koji se
when we
zaglavio.
looked, there was another one stuck in
I
there.
onda smo našli još jedan kamen.
And so, both times we spent about 3 hours trying to get it out.
I oba puta smo proveli 3 sata pokušavajući da izvadimo
And
kamen.
that was a Friday evening, so it was a great way to start the Sabbath.
I to je bio petak uveče, dobar način da se započne subota.
But the work is never done.
Ali posao nikad nije dovršen.
This was a young girl. She's 19 years old. That's her third child.
Ovo je devojčica, 19 godina i ovo je njeno treće dete.
There's a lot of young girls there that marry older men.
Tamo ima puno mladih devojaka koje se udaju za starije muškarce.
Because the man is able to provide and the family is unable to provide for the young girl anymore.
Zato što je čovek u mogućnosti da je izdržava, a njena porodica to nije bila.
And so now her husband had left her once this baby was born.
A nju je muž ostavio kada je ovo dete rođeno.
And I should say that was her second husband because her first husband had died.
I to je bio njen drugi muž pošto je prvi umro.
Now this baby, very cute, but he was born with a malformation.
Ova beba je jako slatka, ali je ona rođena sa deformacijom.
It was born without anus.
Rođena je bez analnog otvora.
And so there was a group group of surgeons that had come and had formed a colostomy. You've guys seen the bags on the intestines to help.
I došla je grupa lekara koji su napravili otvor i ugradili kesu da bi dete moglo da vrši nuždu.
And supposedly the group of doctors will come back to fix it and fix the malformation as well.
I ta grupa doktora je kao trebalo da se vrati nazad i da pomogne detetu da reši problem.
Now she had come seeing me because she was asking for simple things, even just like those bags that she can change the colostomy.
I ona je došla s ovim detetom da makar traži za jednostavne stvari kao što su te kese koje je trebalo da menja.
We had another young lady that had come and she was 17 years old.
Postala je još jedna devojčica koja je došla koja je bila 17 godina.
Her husband was 50.
Čiji je muž bio 50 godina.
And she had recently delivered her baby.
I koja je skoro imala porođaj.
But one of the clinics that she was in, they had stole her baby.
Ali klinika u kojoj je bila je ukrala njenu bebu.
And she had come because her mom was saying she's very depressed
I ona je došla jer njena majka je rekla da je ona jako depresivna.
And then she had some other medical issues too.
I imala neke druge zdravstvene probleme.
This was shingles. Again, it's kind of like the second thing after chickenpox, zoster.
Ovo su shingles, još jedna od boginja.
This may be a little bit hard to see, but you can see the little girl. She has different size. The eyes are different size. The iris.
Ovo je mala devojčica, možete vidjeti da su joj oči različite veličine.
Let's see the next photo if that will be a little clearer. Again, just some various and very interesting skin problems that typically we wouldn't see here, but you do see in villages.
Jednostavno ima različitih vrsta oboljenja kože koje ovde ne možemo da vidimo, ali tamo je sve to prisutno.
And it's also very traditional to color the kids' hairs black. So the blackness is actually a dye, but the infection you can see on top.
Oni imaju običaj da farbaju kosu deci u crno i ono što vidite crno to je farba, ali ovo ostala infekcija.
All right, next slide. Yep, one more. This is something we call urticaria, or kind of like hives. It's when you have an allergic reaction to something.
Ovo je nešto kao neka vrsta alergije.
They have obviously different plants and herbs, so when they put on the skin, they can have different reactions that occur.
Oni imaju različite biljke tamo koje kada stave na kožu, koža reaguje na različite načine.
This was a guy that had actually worked at the hospital working on the air conditioning system, and his skin was just starting to peel off.
Ovo je čovjek koji radi u bolnici na održavanju rashladnih uređaja i njegova koža jednostavno počela se ljuštiti.
But sometimes we were not able to see the end result of what we did, and sometimes we were if we were there for a longer time. So it was good to see that after about a week treatment, his hands had improved greatly.
Često nismo mogli da vidimo rezultat našeg tretmana i pomoći, međutim ovaj put, evo videli ste sliku posle 7 dana, je to ljušćenje kože prestalo.
Now this is it looks like a Caucasian, boy. or white boy.
Ovo izgleda kao beli dečak.
But it's actually a Peruvian with albinism. It's when the skin doesn't produce enough pigment.
Međutim, on je Peruanac, albino, pošto njegova koža ne proizvodi dovoljno pigmenata.
And because there's so much sun there, the sun can cause different reactions on the skin. So especially the native Indians will get different reactions that occur on their skin.
Sunce je tamo jako i može da proizvede razne reakcije na koži i domaći stanovnici tamo imaju različite oboljenja.
This young lady, sometimes there's Adventist hospitals that will come and work in the jungle, and we got a chance to work with one group.
Ova jedna žena pripada grupi koja dolazi iz adventističke bolnice da radi u džungli, da pomaže.
Usually there's 2 physicians and a couple of nurses that will come along.
Uglavnom dolaze 2 lekara i još nekoliko medicinskih sestara.
They will work 1 week in the villages and then that's it.
Oni bi proveli jednu sedmicu u selu i to bi bilo to.
Sometimes there's surgeons that will come down and just do surgeries every day for 1 week.
Nekada su tu hirurzi koji dolaze i svakoga dana za 7 dana oni operišu.
This one time there was a hand surgeon that had come down.
Ovoga puta je došao hirurg za ruku.
And we saw this little girl in the village.
I videli smo ovu malu devojčicu u selu.
And it's hard to tell, but her thumb is actually abnormally small and she's unable to move it.
I teško je to primetiti, ali njen palac je abnormalno mali, ona ne može da ga pomera.
But it was such a blessing that the hand surgeon was there at the time that we were able to transfer her to the clinic and he was able to do surgery.
Bio je veliki blagoslov da je baš u to vreme bio hirurg tu koji je specijalista za ruke, tako da smo je poslali ka njemu.
They have fleas inside the sand and the dirt there that can penetrate the skin and cause these ulcers too.
Oni imaju male muvice neke koje žive u zemlji koje mogu da prodru kroz kožu i da izazovu takve rane.
Now this is a tumor on the back of a older lady. She's about 80 years old.
Ovo je tumor koji se nalazi na leđima jedne starije žene koja je 80 godina.
Now she had come also for something else, but she said, "Hey, by the way, I have this thing on my back."
Ona je isto došla radi nečega drugog i onda rekla, ali usput imam i ovo nešto na leđima.
So I thought something small.
I ja sam mislio nešto malo.
This was the size of probably a peach.
Ovo je bilo veličine breskve.
And it was there for about 7 or 8 years.
I to je bilo tu prisutno oko 7-8 godina.
Didn't cause her any problems.
Nije ju uopšte smetalo.
But looking at it carefully, there's a lot of blood vessels inside the tumor.
Ali ako pažljivo posmatrate, vidite puno krvnih sudova unutar u tumoru.
So this would be not advisable to do surgery in a village.
Tako da nije preporučljivo da se ovakva operacija uradi u selu.
But since it wasn't bothering her and considering her age, we just left it alone.
Ali pošto je nije smetalo i uzimajući u obzir njene godine, nismo ništa uradili.
And then her husband said, "Hey, by the way, I have something similar like my wife."
I onda njen muž došao i rekao, hej, usput ja imam nešto slično kao moja supruga.
But he had a grapefruit hernia down here, just hanging there.
Ali on je imao kilu veličine grejpfruta.
The hernia down there.
Ja to kažem, bruh.
Also, because of the sun, you can get these changes in the eyes where the tissue from the inside of your eyes grows over into your eye.
Ovde imamo jedan slučaj gde se tkivo iz oka razvije i počne da urasta u oko.
So, this was herpes on a boy.
Ovo je herpes ili groznica na dečaku.
This was a type of special cyst that can occur inside the mouth.
Ovo je vrsta specijalne ciste koje se mogu razviti u ustima.
This was a man that we had come to see him in his house.
Ovo je čovjek kog smo došli da vidimo u njegovoj kući.
His family was saying that he was getting worse and worse and he wasn't eating much at all.
Porodica je rekla da je on sve lošije i da uopšte skoro nije jeo.
Long story short, we found out that he had a big drinking history.
Da skratimo priču, shvatili smo da on ima istoriju alkoholizma.
So probably had liver cirrhosis or end-stage.
I verovatno imao cirozu jetre.
We wanted to take him with us on the boat back to the hospital, but he said he'd rather die in his house.
I želi smo da ga odvedemo u bolnicu sa nama, ali on je rekao da bi radije umro u svojoj kući.
Mainly because there was no money to pay for all the bills and the tests that they had to do if they would go to the hospital.
Većinom zato što nije imao novca da plati sve račune u bolnici.
This you can see around the eyes are little growths that can occur, and here we can do laser on them, but over there there's not much.
Ovde možete vidjeti male izrasline ispod oka koje se ovde rešavaju laserskim poduhvatom, ali tamo to nije moguće.
This was a young girl that had come because her mom was worried that she was active or intimate with a boy.
Ova devojčica je došla jer je majka verovala da je ona bila intimna sa svojim dečkom.
She's only 12 years old.
Ona je samo 12 godina.
But when I had the time to speak to the mom and speak to the daughter alone,
ali kada sam imao vreme da razgovaram sa majkom i onda nasamo sa devojčicom,
it turns out the daughter just liked the boy. She didn't do anything with the boy whatsoever.
Saznao sam da je devojčica sviđao se samo taj dečak, ali nisu imali ništa više od toga.
But the mom didn't want them getting together at all.
Ali mama nije želela da oni uopšte budu zajedno.
Granted, at that age, it's a little too early to get together anyways.
Da, svejedno je to prerano za te godine.
But you get some issues that are, both psychological as well.
Ali hoću da kažem da postoje neki slučajevi koji su više iz domena psihologije.
A lady there, you can see from her hands that she has a type of arthritis called rheumatoid arthritis.
Možete vidjeti na ovoj slici da ova žena ima reumatoidni artritis.
There's new medicines here, very expensive, but they help a lot, but that's not available over there.
Opet, ovde postoji medicina za to koja je skupa, ali pomaže, ali tamo to nismo imali.
And she can't just stay at home and claim disability. She has to continue working.
I ona ne može da ostane kući tamo i da dobije socijalnu pomoć. Ona je morala da radi.
These were twins.
Ovo su blizanci.
And both of them were born blind.
I oboje su rođeni slepi.
And they have congenital cataracts.
I oni imaju kataraktu.
So, again, this is something that's possibly surgically corrected.
I opet ovo je nešto što bi operacija mogla da koriguje.
But then again, depending on the family's capability, it might not be possible at all.
Ali u zavisnosti od finansijske situacije porodice, to možda ne bi moglo biti moguće.
It was interesting that a lot of times they won't seek medical attention until it gets very bad.
Često oni ne bi došli kod doktora dok situacija ne postane jako loša.
So some things that were probably very simple early on becomes very complicated later on.
Neke stvari koje su vrlo jednostavne u početku, kasnije postanu jako komplikovane.
But I still thank God that we were able to do some stuff to actually to help them, and it was free for them, so that was a big benefit for them.
Ali ja sam zahvalan Bogu da smo ipak mogli da uradimo nešto da im pomognemo i to je bilo besplatno za njih.
Again, infections on the feet because nobody really wears shoes; they just kind of walk on the dirt.
Opet infekcija na stopalo jer niko ne nosi cipele, svi hodaju bosonogi.
This was a gentleman that had come and had this for about a month on his back.
Ovo je gospodin koji je došao sa ovom ranom koju je imao već mesecima na svojim leđima.
You can see it goes around to his front.
I vidite da se širi okolo sve do prednjeg dela.
It was probably that shingles again, but the problem is that they try a lot of their natural therapies that sometimes don't work well.
Verovatno su to shingles i mora da su probali neke od prirodnih terapija u koje one veruju, koje nisu pomogle.
So it can cause almost like a 3rd degree burn.
Tako da je to izazvalo pekotine 3. stepena.
So I like natural things too.
Ja volim prirodne lekove.
But I also say poison ivy is natural as well.
Ali i poison ivy je prirodna.
That doesn't mean you want to rub it all over your body.
To ne znači da želite da ga namažete po celom telu.
We have to be careful about everything.
Moramo da budemo pažljivi sa svim.
This is a young boy playing with a machete and unfortunately almost cut his eye.
Ovo je mladi dečak koji se igrao sa mačetom i skoro isekao svoje oko.
This was an older lady that we were walking in the village and we saw her like this sitting in her house.
Ovo je starija žena koju smo videli dok smo šetali kroz selo.
Now, it's hard to believe, but she's 95 years old.
Teško verovati da je ona 95 godina stara.
But she's had this thing on her eye growing for about 10 years.
Ali ona je ovo imala već 10 godina.
It's also a type of tumor that's very slow growing.
Ovo je vrsta tumora koji se sporo razvija.
But considering her age and how much surgery she would need to get this done, it was best to leave it alone.
Uzimajući u obzir njene godine i koliko bi operacija to zahtevalo, najbolje je bilo ostaviti kako jeste.
Now, as you know, in the rivers there's a lot of parasites.
Kao što znate, u rekama ima puno parazita.
So these parasites, you can drink them and then they'll grow in your stomach and cause problems.
I ako ove parazite popijete, one mogu da uđu u vaš stomak i da počnu da se razvijaju.
But it can also grow inside your skin.
Ali isto tako mogu da rastu unutar vaše kože.
Here goes another cyst that was growing on the back of a child's neck, and it was just getting worse, and he was starting to get fevers.
A ovo je još jedna cista koja je rasla u predelu dečakovog vrata i postala sve gore.
So we were able to, puncture, take care of it right there and then, and he was getting better right away.
A bili smo u mogućnosti tu da je probušimo, iscedimo i on je odmah se osjeća bolje.
You can see this is actually the stomach of a lady.
Ovo što vidite je stomak dame.
And that's, if you can see those bumps on her stomach.
I ako vidite ove male izrasline,
it was very unusual.
To je vrlo neobično.
And the story was that the husband had come knocking at our door about 1:30 in the morning.
I priča ide tako što je muž došao na naša vrata oko 3 ujutru i kucao.
And she was lying on the floor.
I ona je ležala na podu.
So we picked her up, we put her inside the clinic room.
Mi smo je podigli i stavili unutar sobe.
She was complaining of very, very bad abdominal pain.
I ona se žalila na jake stomačne bolove.
And it turns out that she had gone to a witch doctor before us.
I saznali smo da je pre nas otišla kod seoskog vrača.
And they had done some type of ritual causing those bumps to appear.
I oni su obavili neki ritual koji je izazvao da te izrasline ispupčine se pojave.
Now because it didn't help, they had come to us.
I pošto je to nije pomoglo, oni su došli kod nas.
Now she didn't have a fever, but she just couldn't eat anything and her stomach was just hurting so bad.
Ona nije imala temperaturu, ali nije mogla ništa da jede i stomak je jako bolao.
So at 1:30 in the morning we gave her fluids, we started giving her antibiotics.
U 1:30 ujutru dali smo dosta tečnosti i antibiotika.
In case it was an appendicitis or if it had burst and gone into her stomach area.
U slučaju da je
appendicitis or something,
puknuo slepo crevo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we had called early in the morning for the plane to come get her.
I zvali smo rano ujutru da avion dođe da je odveze.
The plane had come and gotten her.
Avion je došao da je uzme.
And once they landed, which was about an hour flight.
I kada su spustili na zemlju, bilo je oko sat vremena leta.
They took her in a jeep and they drove her to the hospital.
Stavili su ju u džip, odveli u bolnicu.
And when they had come, she had passed away.
I kada su došli tamo, ona je umrla.
We can see the next slide. It was the only case that we know that someone had died during the time.
To je jedini slučaj da je neko umro dok smo bili tamo.
And I don't know if this video would work, the one about the funeral. We can try.
Probat ćemo da vidimo video o sahrani.
It was very interesting when we had offered to bring the body back to the village with the plane.
Bilo je interesantno kada smo ponudili da donesemo telo nazad u selo.
And when they had taken the body outside of the plane.
I kada su izvadili telo iz aviona.
That it was like a choir of people screeching, screaming. It was almost like a Halloween,
Bilo je kao hor ljudi koji su cvilili i vrištali kao Halloween.
And so I just want you to listen and really feel like you were there to see what it was like.
I hoću da samo slušate i da zamislite da ste tamo da vidite kako je bilo.
It was interesting that they spent the next 2 to 3 hours obviously being very emotional about what had happened.
Interesantno je da su oni proveli 2 do 3 sata, očigledno bivši vrlo emotivni u vezi onog što se
And then
desi.
it was like somebody turned off the switch and nobody cried, nobody said a word anymore.
I onda odjednom kao da je neko pritisnuo prekidač i niko više nije plakao ni jadikovao.
The following day they had a funeral service.
Sledećeg dana su imali sahranu.
Nobody cried, nobody said a word.
Niko nije plakao, niko nije rekao ni jednu reč.
It's almost they let everything out, and when they had nothing more to let out, that was it.
Oni su jednostavno sve izbacili iz sebe i posle toga je sve bilo.
Now the family was not Adventist, but they had actually invited the Adventist pastor to say a few words during the funeral service.
Članovi porodice nisu bili adventisti, ali su pozvali adventističkog pastora da kaže par reči u toku službe.
And they were very grateful that we were able to offer some help to them.
I bili su jako zahvalni da smo mogli da im pomognemo.
The unfortunate thing was that she left 7 children behind.
Ono što je nesreća jeste da je ostavila 7 dece iza sebe.
The youngest was a year old.
Najmlađi je imao samo 1 godinu.
And later we found out she was actually 4 months pregnant at the time when she
A
passed.
kasnije smo saznali da je ona bila trudna u 4. mesecu.
So it was one of the saddest stories that we had, definitely.
So jedna od najtužnijih priča koje smo imali.
This was a young man that was playing soccer, and he ran into someone, abnormally, and he had dislocated his finger.
Ovo je čovek koji je igrao fudbal i naleteo na nekoga i jednostavno mu je prst ispao iz loba.
This is a type of a mole, I guess, mladish, that's like that it can encompass the whole back, and it can happen to anyone, but especially darker individuals.
Ovo je vrsta mladeža koji je jednostavno počeo se razvija i pokrio čitav taj deo ramena.
Because of the heat and stuff, we mentioned that we see a lot of dehydration, so sometimes we have to give fluids a lot to children especially.
Zbog vrućine često imamo slučajeve dehidracije, tako da moramo dati dosta fluida deci.
This was a young girl of 9 years old. She was also, her friend was playing with a machete and unfortunately cut her.
Ovo je isto devojčica 9 godina, čiji se drugar igrao sa mačetom i posekao je nogu.
But we were able to fix that up.
Ali su mogli da to ušijemo.
Because of the dust and because of the bacteria, you get a lot of individuals with problems with their eyes.
Zbog prašine i infekcija dosta osoba dolazi sa infekcijama oka.
And also because they don't brush often, and sometimes even if they might have a toothbrush, they don't do it correctly or so on. You see a lot of bad teeth.
Zbog toga što ne peru zube dovoljno ili ako ih peru, ne peru ih pravilno, vidite dosta loših zuba.
So I'm not a dentist.
Ja nisam zubar.
But like I said, we probably pulled over 150 teeth.
Ali, kao što rekoh, verovatno smo oko 150 zuba izvadili.
So if everybody wants a free tooth pulling, no.
So ako neko hoće da mu izvadim zub za džabe,
I don't know if this video will work, but I think this was an MTS as well. But there we go. Oh yeah. So we had medicine to help numb it up, so it would help. It's not that barbaric. But
ja, imali smo anestetike da im pomognemo malo, tako da nije bilo varvarski.
But you can see even from the teeth that we pull, and a half hour later you can see the flies, and it's not the best, most sterile conditions that we're used to.
Možete da vidite ove zube koje smo izvadili posle nekoliko minuta, muve bi se skupilo, tako da nije baš najsterilnija situacija.
Some teeth are very, very bad.
Neki zubi su jako loši.
Now this was interesting. We came to this village, and this village name was called New Paradise.
Ovo je zanimljivo. Došli smo u ovo selo koje se zvalo Novi Raj.
And this was the only village that we went to. It was probably the farthest in the jungle, but the river water was actually clear.
Ovo je jedino selo koje je bilo najdublje u džungli gde je voda bila čista.
Probably coming from the mountains.
Verovatno dolazeći sa planina.
But when we came there, most of the villagers had whooping cough.
Ali kada smo došli tamo, svi od seljaka, stanovnika sela, su imali tu vrstu kašlja, whooping cough. Veliki kašlj.
So here you don't really see it at all because of the vaccinations.
Ovde to ne vidimo previše zbog vakcinacija.
But there they keep coughing that they burst the blood vessels in their eyes and they almost look like demons.
Ali ovde vidite takvu situaciju gde krvni sudovi pucaju u očima tako da izgledaju skoro kao demoni.
So we'll see if this one video will work, but just to hear what how that sounds like. I apologize, this video is kind of turned sideways, but it's more for the audio than the visual. So with whooping cough, you'll have that cough, 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 and then you'll have that because they can't get enough breath to actually start coughing again.
U slučaju velikog kašlja, osoba kašlje i onda duboko udiše zato što ne mogu da uzmu dosta vazduha od kašlja, ne mogu da dišu.
You can die from this.
Možete da umrete od toga.
And it's very infectious, so that's why one person will get it, then the whole family will get infected.
I jako je zarazno, jedna osoba kad dobije, čitava porodica se razboli.
And then the whole village eventually gets it.
I eventualno i celo selo.
So we used a lot of our antibiotics for that village.
Tako da smo dosta naših antibiotika iskoristili za to selo.
This cute little girl, she's 5 years old.
Ova slatka devojčica je 5 godina stara.
And this was a girl actually that I saw in Belize.
I to je devojčica koju sam vidio u Belize.
And her father had come and said she has a lot of bug bites on her back.
I njen otac je došao i rekao da ima dosta ujeda buba na svojim leđima.
And when we saw, they really do just look like normal bug bites.
I kada smo pogledali, zaista su izgledali kao ujedi neki buba.
But then the father said he found this bug next to her pillow.
Onda je otac rekao, našao sam ovu bubu pored njenog jastuka.
And this bug is the one that causes sleeping sickness or Chagas disease.
A ovo je buba koja izaziva bolest spavanja.
And over time, it can affect your heart and your heart will stop.
U toku, neki su ovde možda ujedeni.
Oh, yeah?
Vidim da se smeju. I u toku vremena može da izazove da ti srce zaustavi se.
So, but luckily we were able to identify the bug, and then we checked her blood, and it was positive, and then we had to put her on medicine.
I sa srećom smo mogli da ustanovimo koja je vrsta bube, tako da smo je stavili na pravi tretman.
Now, this medicine, unfortunately, you have to take it for 3 to 6 months, and it causes a lot of side effects and stuff, but it's better. We needed to save her heart.
Nažalost, ove lekove morate uzimati 3 do 6 meseci, imaju dosta nus efekata, ali makar smo joj pomogli.
This is bed bugs.
Ovo su buve, kako mi stenice.
And so you can see how they have that pattern 1, 2, 3. So they call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the bug will bite you, then will walk a little bit, then it'll have its lunch, and then it'll walk a bit and have its dinner. So it'll bite you 3 times.
I možete vidite ovu tipičnu strukturu, 1, 2, 3, oni to zovu doručak, ručak, večer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's my leg.
Nažalost, to je moja noga.
So we got to see a lot of things, and even things that I learned about in my textbooks, I was actually able to see it in real life over there.
I mnoge stvari koje sam naučio samo iz knjige sam tamo mogu da vidim uživo.
So it was definitely something I very, very much enjoyed.
I to je definitivno nešto u čemu sam ja uživao.
And there were long days and I was tired and sweaty.
I bilo je mnogo dana koji su bili dugi, ja sam bio umoran i znojav.
But it's interesting when you ask God for something.
Ali interesantno je kada pitaš Boga za nešto.
And I asked for this mission trip.
A ja sam pitao za ovaj misijonski put.
You can't complain anymore when God puts you in that position.
Onda ne možeš više da se žališ kada te Bog stavi tu poziciju.
But it's for the edifying of your body, edifying of your soul.
Ali to je za uzdizanje tvoga tela i duše.
Just like working out isn't fun, but at the end it's rewarding.
Kao što je vežbanje nije uvek zabavno, hvala, ali na kraju dobiješ nagradu.
So, Thank you very much. If there's any questions, I can answer something real quick.
Puno hvala. Ako ima nekih pitanja koje biste želi da postavite na brzinu.
Yeah. I had a few more pictures, but they probably weren't appropriate for church. Okay.
Ja imam još par slika, ali one verovatno nisu prikladne za crkvu.
So, okay.
Ja mislim
Thank
da smo
you.
dosta videli.
Good. Thank you.
Ima
yeah.
pitanje.
Koliko je procenata bilo opasnosti za tvoj život?